Dear inspiring souls, we live in a world where noise often gets more attention than value. Everywhere we turn, social media, workplaces, even casual conversations, people are quick to showcase their wins, their possessions, and their achievements. But here's a little secret that the most grounded and truly successful people know. Real success doesn't need to shout. It whispers, it radiates, it speaks for itself without a single word of self-promotion. Think about the strongest trees in the forest. They don't wave their branches and scream for attention. They quietly grow, deeply rooted, providing shade, stability, and life around them. That's exactly how quiet success works. It's steady, impactful, and undeniable, without any need for show-off. Showing off may bring quick applause, but it fades as fast as it comes. Quiet success, on the other hand, builds respect, trust, and lasting influence. It's about doing the work, staying humble, and letting your results speak for you. People may not notice immediately, but when they do, the impression is deep and unforgettable. In this journey, we'll explore 7 powerful steps to master the art of quiet success. These are not flashy tricks or shallow shortcuts. They're timeless principles that can transform how the world sees you and how you see yourself. If you've ever felt the urge to prove your worth to others, this will help you rise above that need. So let's begin this powerful journey to achieve more. Stay grounded and let your light shine, quietly but brilliantly. Step 1. Focus on the work, not the applause. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the chase for recognition. Everywhere you look, people are eager to share their achievements, announce their successes, and seek applause from others. Social media platforms make it tempting to broadcast every win, hoping for likes, comments, and validation. But true success isn't about the noise you create or the attention you attract. It begins with focusing on the work itself, not the applause it might bring. When you shift your mindset from seeking external validation to valuing your own efforts, you open the door to deeper fulfillment and lasting achievement. The challenge with chasing applause is that it ties your happiness and motivation to factors outside your control. When you depend on others' approval, you become vulnerable to their opinions, which can be inconsistent, fleeting, or even absent. This can lead to frustration and disappointment, making you feel like your hard work doesn't matter unless it's recognized by someone else. However, when your focus is on doing your best work simply for the sake of the work, you create a strong foundation of internal satisfaction. You learn to value progress, growth, and effort over temporary praise. Think about artists, writers, or inventors who have changed the world. Many of them worked quietly for years without any public recognition. Their passion for their craft kept them going long before anyone knew their names. They didn't wait for applause to motivate them. They were driven by a deep love for their work and a desire to improve. This is the kind of dedication that leads to true success. It's about showing up every day, putting in the effort, and trusting that the results will come in time. Focusing on the work means being present in the moment and giving your full attention to the task at hand. It requires discipline to avoid distractions and resist the urge to seek quick rewards. When you immerse yourself in the process, you develop skills, gain experience, and build character. These are the real treasures of any journey. Applause may feel good temporarily, but it doesn't develop your abilities or shape your character. The work does. Moreover, when you work without the need for applause, your actions become more authentic. You aren't performing for an audience. You're pursuing your goals because they matter to you. This authenticity shows in the quality of your work and the way you carry yourself. People can sense when someone is genuinely passionate versus when they are trying to impress others. Authentic work attracts respect and creates deeper connections. Another important benefit of focusing on the work is that it helps you avoid burnout. When motivation is tied to external approval, it can fluctuate wildly. One day you feel encouraged by praise, the next, discouraged by silence. This roller coaster makes it hard to maintain consistent effort. But when your motivation comes from within, grounded in your own values and goals, you can sustain your efforts even when no one is watching. This steady drive is what leads to lasting success. It's natural to want to share your achievements with others. Celebrating milestones can be motivating and inspiring, both for you and those around you. However, the key is to find balance. Share your successes humbly and meaningfully, but don't let the desire for recognition become your main goal. Let your primary focus be on continuous growth and improvement. Practically speaking, focusing on the work over applause means setting goals that emphasize process rather than outcome. For example, instead of setting a goal like, I want to get a promotion, you might set a goal like, I will improve my skills by completing a course and taking on challenging projects. This shifts your attention to what you can control, your effort and learning, rather than outcomes that depend on others. Another way to focus on the work is to develop daily habits that support your progress. Small, consistent actions, like dedicating time each day to practice, learn, or create, build momentum over time. These habits keep you engaged in the process and remind you that success is built slowly, not overnight. It's also helpful to keep a private journal or log where you track your progress, challenges, and lessons learned. This personal record becomes a source of motivation and reflection, independent of external feedback. It allows you to celebrate your own growth quietly and meaningfully. Of course, that there will be moments when you feel the temptation to seek validation. This is normal, as humans are social beings who naturally crave connection and recognition. When these feelings arise, remind yourself why you started and what truly drives you. Reconnect with the joy of the work itself, the curiosity, creativity, or purpose that inspired you in the first place. By consistently focusing on the work and not the applause, you build resilience. You learn to find joy in progress, no matter how small, and strengthen persistence. Over time, this mindset not only leads to greater success, but also to deeper satisfaction and peace of mind. In the end, the loudest noise is not the applause of others, but the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you gave your best. When you focus on the work, your success becomes a natural byproduct, solid, lasting, and meaningful. The world will notice not because you shouted the loudest, but because your results speak for themselves. Step 2. Let your results do the talking. One of the most powerful lessons in the art of quiet success is learning to let your results speak louder than your words. In today's world, it's easy to fall into the trap of talking about your goals, plans, and achievements before they are fully realized. Social media encourages constant updates and sharing every step, but this can often dilute the impact of your true accomplishments. People may start doubting your intentions or lose interest when promises aren't backed up by real outcomes. Quiet success means focusing on creating solid results first, then allowing those achievements to naturally demonstrate your value. When you speak less and produce more, you gain a distinct advantage. Actions are far more convincing than words. Anyone can talk about what they intend to do or boast about their ambitions, but few follow through with the dedication needed to make things happen. By showing steady progress and delivering real results, you build credibility that words alone cannot provide. This credibility earns you respect and opens doors in ways that self-promotion never could. Talking about your plans or successes prematurely can sometimes even work against you. The excitement of sharing may create an illusion of accomplishment, tricking your mind into feeling satisfied before the actual work is done. This can reduce your motivation to push forward. Additionally, openly sharing unfinished projects or unproven ideas exposes you to criticism and doubt, which can be discouraging. By focusing your energy on completing your work quietly, you avoid unnecessary distractions and preserve your momentum. Consider the example of great inventors, writers, and entrepreneurs throughout history. Many of them worked in obscurity for years, refining their ideas and perfecting their craft before revealing their breakthroughs. Their silence was strategic. It gave them the freedom to experiment, fail, and improve without the pressure of public scrutiny. When they finally unveiled their results, the impact was powerful and undeniable because it was backed by substance, not hype. Letting your results do the talking also builds your inner confidence. When you know you have worked hard and achieved something tangible, you don't need to convince anyone of your worth. Your accomplishments become your proof. This self-assurance reduces the need to seek external validation or approval, freeing you to focus on your next goal with clarity and determination. Furthermore, silence in progress shows maturity. It signals that you understand the value of patience, discipline, and timing. Instead of rushing to claim credit or gain attention, you prioritize quality and depth. This approach resonates with people who appreciate genuine success, those who look beyond surface-level showmanship and recognize true effort. Another benefit of this mindset is that it helps protect your work from jealousy or negativity. When you announce everything you are working on, you open the door for critics, doubters, or even competitors to undermine your confidence. Quiet dedication keeps your projects safe until they are ready to shine. By the time you reveal your success, it's harder for others to dismiss or detract from your achievements because the proof is right there in front of them. Putting this step into practice means shifting your focus from talking to doing. Instead of sharing your plans prematurely, invest that energy into action. Concentrate on completing tasks, improving skills, and building outcomes. Let your work be the message you send to the world. People notice results more than promises, and they respect those who deliver consistently. This doesn't mean you have to be completely silent or secretive. Sharing your progress with a trusted mentor, coach, or close friend can provide encouragement and accountability. But be mindful of oversharing in public or social settings where premature disclosure can create unnecessary pressure or distractions. Save the big announcements for when you have something meaningful to present. Another practical way to apply this step is by setting measurable goals with clear deadlines. This helps you stay focused and motivated to finish what you start rather than getting caught in endless planning or talking. Break large projects into manageable parts and celebrate small wins privately to maintain momentum. When you reach a significant milestone, share it with humility and gratitude, letting the achievement speak for itself. In everyday life, letting your results do the talking also means demonstrating integrity and reliability. When you say you will do something, follow through. When you commit to a deadline, meet it. These small but consistent actions build a reputation that precedes you. Over time, people will trust your word because they know it's backed by action. This trust is one of the most valuable assets you can have in personal and professional relationships. It's also important to develop patience during this process. Results may not appear immediately, especially when you're working on long-term goals or complex projects. Quiet success requires endurance and faith in the process. Instead of seeking instant gratification, focus on the steady progress that accumulates over time. Remember that a tree takes years to grow strong and tall, but every day of care contributes to its future shade. By embracing this mindset, you free yourself from the anxiety of constantly explaining, defending, or promoting your work. You create space to focus deeply on what matters, doing your best work with excellence and authenticity. When the time is right, your results will shine on their own, speaking volumes about your dedication and talent. In summary, learning to let your results do the talking is a powerful step toward mastering quiet success. It requires discipline to resist the urge to boast or seek attention prematurely. It calls for patience to trust that consistent effort will yield meaningful outcomes. And it demands humility to allow your work to be your voice rather than your words. When you adopt this approach, you cultivate respect, build confidence, and create success that lasts far beyond any fleeting applause. Step 3. Embrace humility as your strength. In the journey toward quiet success, one of the most vital qualities you can cultivate is humility. While many confuse humility with weakness or lack of confidence, true humility is actually a sign of great inner strength and self-awareness. It means recognizing your value and achievements without feeling the need to boast or seek constant approval from others. Embracing humility allows you to stay grounded, open to learning, and connected to those around you in a genuine way. This quiet confidence creates a powerful foundation for lasting success. Humility doesn't mean downplaying your talents or hiding your accomplishments. It means balancing pride in your work with a respectful awareness of your limitations and the contributions of others. When you approach life with humility, you're less likely to be blinded by ego. Instead, you remain teachable, adaptable, and willing to grow. This openness leads to better decision-making and more meaningful relationships, both personally and professionally. People are naturally drawn to humble individuals because they radiate authenticity and kindness. Unlike arrogance, which often pushes people away, humility invites connection and trust. When you don't need to dominate conversations or prove yourself, you create space for others to share, collaborate, and feel valued. This creates a supportive environment where ideas can flourish and teamwork thrives. Quiet success is rarely a solo effort. It often requires the help and encouragement of others, and humility helps you build those essential bridges. Moreover, humility protects you from the pitfalls of pride and complacency. When success comes, it's easy to let your ego inflate and believe you've arrived. But humility reminds you that success is a continuous journey, not a final destination. It encourages you to keep striving, keep learning, and stay connected to your purpose. This mindset keeps you motivated through challenges and setbacks because you understand that growth is lifelong. Embracing humility also means acknowledging the role of others in your achievements. Whether it's mentors, colleagues, friends, or family, recognizing their support fosters gratitude and deepens your relationships. This gratitude nourishes your spirit and keeps you humble even as you rise. It also makes you more approachable and respected as people appreciate leaders who give credit where it's due instead of claiming all the glory. Another important aspect of humility is knowing when to listen rather than speak. Humble individuals recognize that they don't have all the answers and value the perspectives of others. This willingness to listen and learn expands your understanding and prevents you from making costly mistakes. It also shows emotional intelligence, which is key to effective leadership and collaboration. Practicing humility doesn't mean you should shy away from sharing your ideas or successes when appropriate. It means doing so with grace and without exaggeration. When you let your achievements speak for themselves and communicate with honesty and modesty, your message becomes more credible and inspiring. People respect those who are confident without arrogance, who celebrate wins without boasting. In practical terms, embracing humility can be as simple as pausing before reacting, considering others' viewpoints, and expressing appreciation regularly. It involves being honest about your weaknesses and mistakes and using them as opportunities to learn rather than reasons to hide. This level of self-awareness strengthens your character and builds resilience. Humility also fosters patience. When you're humble, you understand that success takes time and that setbacks are part of the process. You don't get discouraged by slow progress or temporary failures because you see them as valuable lessons. This patience helps you stay consistent and committed to your goals. Ultimately, humility transforms how you experience success. Instead of seeking to impress or outshine others, you focus on doing meaningful work that aligns with your values. You find satisfaction in personal growth and the positive impact you make rather than external accolades. This shift leads to a more peaceful and fulfilling sense of accomplishment. Quiet success grounded in humility creates a legacy that lasts. People remember those who were kind, genuine, and humble, qualities that outshine any flashy display of talent or achievement. When you embrace humility as your strength, you build not only success, but also respect, trust, and lasting relationships that support you throughout life. Step 4. Master the power of listening. One of the most underrated skills in achieving quiet success is the ability to listen. Not just hear, but truly listen. In a world where everyone is eager to speak, to share their opinion, and to make their voice the loudest in the room, the person who listens with genuine attention immediately stands out. Listening is not a passive act. It's an active choice to give your full presence to someone else. It shows respect, empathy, and emotional intelligence. And these qualities build deeper trust than any grand speech could. When you listen more than you speak, you learn more than you ever could by constantly talking. People who master listening have a unique advantage. They gather information others miss. They pick up on the emotions behind the words, the unspoken concerns, and the subtle hints that reveal what truly matters to others. This knowledge becomes a quiet strength because it allows you to respond in ways that are thoughtful, relevant, and impactful. It's often said that knowledge is power, but in reality, the right kind of listening is the foundation of knowledge. Without listening, your understanding of the world and the people around you will always be limited. There's also a deep human connection that comes from being heard. Think about the last time someone really listened to you without interrupting, judging, or rushing to give advice. You probably walked away feeling valued and respected. When you offer that same gift to others, you become someone they trust and admire. This doesn't mean you have to agree with everything they say. It simply means you give them the space to express themselves fully. That simple act can leave a more powerful impression than any story you could tell about your own life. Listening well also strengthens your decision-making. When you truly understand different perspectives, you make choices that are better informed and more balanced. This is why great leaders are often great listeners. They don't rush to impose their vision, but take the time to understand the needs and concerns of their team or community. This approach not only leads to better results, but also earns the loyalty of those they lead. Another benefit of listening is that it naturally reduces conflict. Many misunderstandings and arguments happen because people feel unheard. When you take the time to truly understand someone's point of view, you often discover that the gap between you is much smaller than it seemed. Even when disagreements remain, the respect created by listening can keep relationships strong despite differences. To master listening, you have to train yourself to resist the urge to dominate the conversation. Many people listen only with the intent to reply. They are already planning what they'll say next, instead of focusing fully on the person speaking. True listening means putting your own thoughts on pause and immersing yourself in the other person's words and emotions. It means asking clarifying questions instead of making quick assumptions, and it means noticing the tone, body language, and pauses as much as the actual words. Listening also requires patience. In our fast-paced world, we often feel pressured to move conversations along quickly, but meaningful listening takes time. If you slow down and give the other person space, you'll often be surprised by what they reveal once they feel truly comfortable. This depth of understanding is impossible to reach if you're only skimming the surface. Practicing listening doesn't mean you should never speak. It means that when you do speak, your words will carry more weight because they are informed by genuine understanding. People can sense when you've really absorbed what they've said, and they will respect your responses more because they know you've taken the time to consider them fully. This is another way that quiet success works. You don't need to talk endlessly to be influential. You need to speak wisely, and wise words come from deep listening. Over time, mastering the power of listening transforms how others see you. You'll be known as someone who is thoughtful, considerate, and trustworthy. Opportunities often come to those who listen well, because people feel confident in sharing ideas, challenges, and even secrets with them. By being the person who hears what others miss, You position yourself to solve problems, offer meaningful solutions, and build bonds that last far longer than the brief applause that comes from showing off. In the end, listening is a form of quiet strength that speaks volumes. It shows you are secure enough to let others take the spotlight, wise enough to know there's always more to learn, and empathetic enough to truly care about the people around you. So in your journey towards quiet success, make listening your daily practice. It will enrich your relationships, sharpen your mind, and give you a kind of influence that no amount of self-promotion could ever match. Step 5. Build consistency over hype. One of the most powerful principles of quiet success is understanding that consistency will always outlast hype. In our world, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of big launches, flashy announcements, or sudden bursts of attention. Social media often amplifies this, rewarding the people who create dramatic moments rather than those who put in steady, reliable effort day after day. But the truth is, hype fades fast. People's attention shifts quickly to the next trending topic. What truly lasts is the kind of trust, respect, and influence you build through consistent action over time. Consistency is the habit of showing up and delivering value whether anyone is watching or not. It's doing the work even when you don't feel motivated, even when no one is cheering you on. Many people start strong, full of energy and excitement, but when results don't appear instantly, they slow down or stop completely. Quiet achievers understand that success is rarely instant. It is the result of small, repeated actions that compound over months or years. They know that while hype may get you noticed, consistency will make you remembered. Think about the people you trust most in your life. Chances are they are not the ones who occasionally do something impressive and then disappear. They are the ones who show up for you repeatedly, keep their promises, and remain dependable through both good times and bad. That is the same way consistency works in your personal and professional journey. When you deliver high-quality work again and again, without needing to make a big show about it, people begin to associate your name with reliability. And reliability is an incredibly rare and valuable quality in any field. Building consistency means you stop relying on motivation alone. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes like the weather. Consistency, on the other hand, is built through discipline and clear systems. It's the ability to stick to your commitments regardless of how you feel in the moment. If you're trying to master a skill, improve your health, or grow your career, the key is not in doing something huge once in a while. It's in doing something small and effective every single day. The challenge is that consistency is not glamorous. It doesn't usually get applause. No one is going to celebrate every quiet hour you spend practicing, learning, or improving. But that's exactly what makes it so powerful. Because while others are chasing quick wins and public recognition, you are building a foundation so strong that it cannot be shaken. When your work is steady and reliable, your success becomes inevitable. Consistency also builds self-respect. Every time you follow through on your commitments, you strengthen the trust you have in yourself. That inner trust is essential because it becomes the fuel that keeps you going when external validation is nowhere to be found. When you know you can rely on yourself, you stop needing others to constantly reassure you. That's when you step into a deeper level of independence and confidence. Another benefit of consistency is that it compounds over time. Just like money grows with steady investment, your skills, knowledge, and influence grow when you invest effort regularly. A person who spends just 30 minutes a day learning something new will be miles ahead of someone who tries to cram in long study sessions once a month. The slow, steady approach may not feel exciting at first, but over time, it creates results so big they can no longer be ignored. In the journey of quiet success, consistency also helps you navigate setbacks. Everyone faces obstacles, but those who have built strong habits are able to keep moving forward even when times are tough. They may slow down, but they don't stop. They understand that a single bad day doesn't erase all their progress, and they get back on track quickly. This resilience is what separates long-term achievers from short-term performers. The best part is that consistency doesn't require perfection. You don't need to get it right every single time. What matters is that you keep showing up and doing your best. Over time, those small efforts add up in ways that even you might not expect. You might not see the change in a week, but in 6 months or a year, the transformation will be undeniable. Quiet achievers know that when the results finally show, they will be so clear and impactful that no one will care whether they came with hype or not. People will simply see the quality, the reliability, and the undeniable proof of your hard work. That's the reward of building consistency over hype. It may take longer, but the results are deeper, stronger, and far more lasting. So choose the slow burn over the quick spark. Choose to be the person who delivers again and again, rather than the one who makes a big noise once and disappears. In the end, hype fades, but consistency leaves a legacy. Step 6. Keep your circles small but strong. Quiet success is not only about what you do, it's also about who you allow into your life. Many people surround themselves with large groups of acquaintances, thinking that having more connections automatically leads to more opportunities. But the truth is, a big circle often comes with noise, drama, and distraction. A small but strong circle, on the other hand, provides genuine support, honest feedback, and an environment where you can grow without feeling pressured to constantly perform. In the journey of not showing off, the people around you matter more than you think. When your circle is small, you can invest deeper in each relationship. You know each person well, trust them, and understand that they are genuinely rooting for your success. These are the people who will celebrate your wins without jealousy, encourage you when you face setbacks, and give you honest advice when you're making decisions. A large crowd might cheer for you when you're winning, but a strong, small circle will stand by you even when you're struggling. That kind of loyalty is rare, and it's worth protecting. One of the dangers of having a wide but shallow network is that it can tempt you into showing off. When you have many people watching, you might feel the urge to keep them impressed, to post every achievement, and to prove your worth constantly. This takes away your focus from what truly matters, doing the work. In a smaller circle, you're surrounded by people who already know your worth. You don't have to perform for them. You can simply be yourself. That freedom allows you to focus your energy on progress instead of presentation. Another advantage of a strong, close-knit circle is the quality of conversations and ideas you exchange. When you're surrounded by people who truly understand your goals and values, the advice you receive is far more relevant and valuable. You can have honest, vulnerable discussions without fear of judgment. This kind of environment helps you grow not just professionally, but personally as well. Keeping your circle small also means you can better protect your privacy. When you're selective about who you share your plans with, you reduce the risk of attracting unnecessary negativity or envy. Not everyone needs to know what you're working on. Some people may not understand your vision, and others may even try to discourage you, whether intentionally or out of their own insecurities. By keeping your plans within a trusted group, you shield yourself from unhelpful opinions and stay focused on your own path. It's important to remember that small doesn't mean closed. You should still be open to meeting new people and forming new connections. But the core group, the people you trust the most, should remain carefully chosen. You're not building walls to keep people out. You're building a strong foundation to keep yourself steady. Quiet achievers understand that quality always matters more than quantity when it comes to relationships. 1 or 2 friends who genuinely support and challenge you to be your best are worth far more than 100 contacts who barely know you. In fact, history is full of examples of great leaders, innovators, and creators who kept their closest circles very small. They understood that their energy was precious and should be spent with people who added value, not those who drained it. Choosing to keep your circle small also encourages you to be more intentional with your time. Instead of attending every social gathering or trying to keep up with a long list of acquaintances, you can focus on building deeper connections with the people who matter most. You spend less time trying to impress others and more time having meaningful conversations, working on your goals, and taking care of your well-being. In the end, the strength of your circle often determines the strength of your success. A small group of loyal, supportive people will help you stay grounded, focused, and true to yourself, even when the world outside is loud and distracting. They will remind you of your purpose when you're tired, encourage you when you're discouraged, and celebrate with you when you've achieved something great. So as you walk the path of quiet success, remember this. It's not about how many people know your name. It's about how many people truly know you. Keep your circle small, keep it strong, and let that foundation be the safe, steady ground on which you build your greatest achievements. Step 7. Celebrate success quietly and gratefully. Celebrating success is important, but how you do it can make all the difference between fleeting pride and lasting fulfillment. When you practice quiet success, you learn to celebrate in ways that honor your hard work without seeking loud approval from the outside world. Instead of broadcasting your achievements for everyone to see, you find joy in private victories, meaningful acknowledgments, and the personal growth that comes with each milestone. This approach deepens your appreciation for what you've accomplished and keeps you grounded for the challenges ahead. It's natural to want others to recognize your efforts, but relying on external praise can create a fragile sense of self-worth. If your happiness depends on likes, compliments, or public applause, it's like building your foundation on shifting sand. One day the recognition will be there, and the next day it may vanish. But when you celebrate quietly and gratefully, your joy comes from within, making it steady and dependable. You don't need a crowd to validate your achievements. You know your value because you lived the effort behind it. Quiet celebration can take many forms. It might mean taking a moment each day to reflect on what you've accomplished, writing in a journal, or simply acknowledging your growth in your heart. Some people reward themselves with small treats or breaks, enjoying the fruits of their labor privately. Others share their success with a trusted friend or mentor who understands the journey. These celebrations feel sincere and meaningful because they come from a place of authenticity rather than the desire to impress. When you celebrate quietly, you also invite gratitude into your life. Gratitude is a powerful practice that shifts your focus from what's missing to what you have. It reminds you that success is not just about the end result, but about the journey, the lessons learned, the obstacles overcome, and the personal strength gained. This mindset encourages humility and helps you stay connected to the deeper purpose behind your efforts. Another benefit of quiet celebration is that it keeps you motivated without the pressure of public expectations. When you rely on external applause, you might feel the need to constantly top your last achievement, which can lead to burnout and disappointment. But when you celebrate internally, you find satisfaction in every step forward, no matter how small. This steady motivation supports long-term growth and well-being. Quiet success also means knowing when to step back and recharge. Celebrating is not just about acknowledging victories, but also about honoring yourself by resting and preparing for what comes next. This balance between effort and renewal is essential for sustained progress. When you give yourself permission to celebrate quietly, you avoid the trap of constantly pushing without pause, which can drain your energy and creativity. Finally, celebrating quietly allows your success to speak for itself over time. Those who observe your steady progress and authentic joy will naturally be drawn to your energy and inspired by your example. Your achievements become a testament to what consistent effort, humility, and gratitude can build, without the need for loud announcements or self-promotion. So as you embrace the art of quiet success, remember to celebrate in ways that nourish your soul and reinforce your values. Let your victories be a source of inner joy and motivation, quietly shining as a beacon for yourself and others. In doing so, you create a success that is not only impressive, but deeply fulfilling and truly yours. As we come to the end of this journey exploring the art of quiet success, remember that true achievement is often the result of humble, consistent effort done without the need for spotlight or applause. It's about focusing on your work, letting your results speak, embracing humility, listening deeply, building strong relationships, and celebrating your wins with gratitude. These steps aren't just strategies. They are ways of living that create a powerful foundation for lasting success and fulfillment. When you choose quiet success, you're choosing a path of authenticity, strength, and inner peace. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to reflect on which step you can start practicing today. Small changes lead to big transformations. Your journey to a more meaningful and impactful life begins with one deliberate choice: to rise quietly and confidently, letting your actions shape your story. Thank you for spending your time here. If you found value in this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more motivational content designed to inspire and empower you every day. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Together, let's keep growing, learning, and shining, without the noise, but with all the power. Stay motivated, stay humble, and keep moving forward.